Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a grand solar minimum update on Thursday, April 19th at 11:47 p.m. Mountain Time 2018. You're looking at the land ocean temperature departure from average for March 2018. It looks extremely familiar to me. Oh, this is the Maunder minimum temperature reconstruction from NASA. Huh. We'll get to that in a moment. Let's check out the May temperature anomaly coming from NOAA. This is the European model. It does not look good. Minus 4.3 degrees C below normal here in the Great Lakes. Oh my goodness. That's a boom. Whew. Minus 4.3 degrees C is nothing like the temperature anomaly back here in the Maunder minimum. This is 0.7 degrees C colder. 0.7 degrees C, less than 1 degree C colder in these regions. And the May outlook is 4.3 degrees C below normal here in the Great Lakes. This blue region, dark blue, 2 degrees to 2.5 degrees C below normal. The rest of the country, east of this line, at least 1 to 1.5 degrees C below normal. Grand solar minimum much? I doubt it. People aren't going to believe this when they see it. We'll talk about that in a second. But check this out. April 2018 on track to be the coldest ever. And this is since records have been kept. Clearly has been colder in the last ice age for those people that are commenting in the section and being idiots. Grand Rapids, Michigan. Let's check it out. Last year, the temperature exceeded 56 degrees 16 times before today, with 7 days warmer than 70. Guess what? This year it hasn't even hit 56 yet. The temperature is 1.3 degrees below average, and it has not exceeded 56 degrees. 10.3 degrees C below normal in Grand Rapids. Heads up. Check out the snow in Muskegon, 105.3 inches to date, eclipsing last year. And last night, numerous reports in northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, and Iowa received between 6 and 12 inches of snow, which is an understatement because several of our subscribers sent pictures to me of at least 14 inches or more in their backyard. So the nonsense continues. Here's the snow depth chart for today. 21% of the continental U.S. is covered in snow. 8 to 14 day temperature outlook moving forward. This starts next week into May. Below average in the East Coast will continue. Snow cold in April is one for the record books. Heads up, Chi-Town. Megan Garlos reports that it hasn't been this cold in April in 137 years. Whew. That brings us back to the centennial minimum. And we're headed into the Eddy minimum. And we're about to talk about records being broken back here in 1700. Are you picking up what we're putting down? Flint breaks all-time record for snowfall this season. This winter is one for the history books, at least for Flint, Michigan. The city has set a new record for the snowiest winter ever since records have been kept, according to the National Weather Service. Flint hit 85.3 inches of snow this season, eclipsing the last record by several inches. Additional snowfall will happen. Record cold tonight in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. We will not be dealing with snow, but we will be dealing with record lows. As the lows in Iowa fall in the 20s, freezing the soil where they plant corn. Record snowstorms delay South Dakota planting. Well, they're north of Iowa, so that's a no-brainer. Look at him. He's like, what do you want me to do with this? What do you want me to do with this? Mitchell, South Dakota, less than a single full day was suitable for field work in South Dakota last week, according to the USDA's National Agricultural Statistics Service. Thick, wet snow blanketed most of the state since. Snow totals for the past 7 days in Mitchell creeped past 20 inches on Wednesday, and snow moisture content was high. There is no planting here for weeks. Are you kidding me? Indeed, as of April 10th, this is currently the coldest start to April since records have been kept for many locations in the state, said Laura Edwards. She's from the state extension, where they keep all the records. Temperatures are 12 to 20 degrees below average, thanks to Al Gore and his predictions of global warming and no more snow. She thinks they'll still get a crop planted in a timely manner. Well, we'll see. Let's check out the icon model, which is the most active or accurate in snowfall prediction. And for the next several days, we have a massive storm covering all of the Rocky Mountains, southern Wyoming and Utah to continue to get snow, as well as northern Arizona and northern New Mexico, while moderate snow will fall up in New England over the next 48 hours. And then the snow will continue through the Rocky Mountain Plateau here in Colorado for some time, and then moving east, dumping some snow in the planting fields. As a second system on April 22nd dips down from Alberta here, brings more snow through Montana and all of Wyoming and back into Colorado. Thankfully, the East Coast is going to be spared moving into May, as the models suggest. Now check this out. Urgent warning. Winter weather message for Honolulu. There's a winter storm warning in Hawaii, effect until 6 p.m. this Friday, Al Gore. Heavy snow expected, 6 to 12 inches above 12,000 feet. And that's the 8th snowstorm this year, which is not normal. Check out the frost and freeze warnings across the United States. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 states. If you planted already, I'm sorry. Here are winter storm warnings and watches throughout Colorado, some in southern Wyoming. We still have that fire warning watch and heavy winds in New Mexico. We're going to have a storm developing here tomorrow and hopefully quench any flames over in Oklahoma. We'll keep watching. There's a lot to cover, so I'm going to quickly move on here. I'm going to dish that too. Let's talk about earthquakes. What you need to know about preparing for Utah's next big quake. Did you know Utah experiences big quakes and there's a 50% chance of a major damaging earthquake in the next 50 years? If you didn't, I will leave you links to this article, so bone up on it. I don't have time to talk about it. Whoa, 3.6 magnitude rattles the southeast Michigan. That's also in Canada. You guys up there, that's up you in Canada too. So I don't want to leave you out here. Centered around Amherstburg, Canada, this 3.6 magnitude earthquake was downgraded by the USGS. It rattled windows and nerves in the metro Detroit area, probably thinking it was a nuke or the end of the world or chemtrails or something, some Nibiru probably coming. I'll leave you links to that. Let's check it out on the USGS map. This is amazing what's going on. Oh, we have boom. Uptick here in Hawaii. That caldera is swelling, Kilauea, and there's going to be a major uptick as we descend into this grand solar minimum. Heads up. You already have the flooding. You're going to have major volcanic activity, localized rain because of that emissions of clouds. Not looking good for you in Hawaii. Here's the boom right there. 3.6. 0 kilometers southeast of Amherstburg. That means it was on top of it. We got another rumbler here in Stapleton, Nebraska, 3.3. I hope that's fracking. And then boom, 5.3 in Tonga. Big rumbler out here by the Prince Edward Island region. I hope the mussels are okay. They're delicious. I love them. Man, little marinara. Also do a really nice white wine and garlic. Volcano in Kirishima Range erupts. First time since 1768. What could have happened back there? 1756, 68. That is the solar minimum of cycle 1. Oh my God, I wonder if cosmic rays have something to do with that. If you don't know, guys, This volcano is volcano Io, and here's the official chatter from Wire Reports. A volcano in southern Japan, Mount Io, erupted for the first time since 1768 on Thursday, spewing steam and ash 400 meters into the air. Authorities warned locals not to approach the mountain. A warning area has been issued with 3 kilometers in the volcano due to large flying volcanic rocks and pyroclastic flows. These are the flows that burn the flesh off of your body instantaneously. Do not want to be wading in those lavas. There is a possibility that the mountain will become more active, said Makoto Sayoto, an official from the Japan Meteorological Agency, the JMA, confirming the eruption, as well as those whose flesh were left from the body, warning that large flying rocks could fall over a 2-mile, 3-kilometer radius. 1 person has been killed, and authorities have banned access to the peak so that no more people get killed. If you want video, come over to Volcano YT. They always have coverage of all volcanoes that are erupting live. Here we are just 12, 14 hours after this has erupted, getting banned footage on the Oppenheimer Ranch channel for you to look at. It's amazing how this works. Thank you, Volcano YT. So what you should notice here is the immense pressure emanating from these multiple vents. Now, that does not bode well for the future. This is a violent stratovolcano. This will cool the planet if it erupts violently. And according to authorities, a violent eruption is imminent. Now, this might not be the eruption that cools the planet, the VEI 6 or 7 we're looking at, but it could be VEI 4 or 5. Look at the power of these vents. Whew, I love the close up, close up, close up. There is 24 minutes of this baby outgassing. So now what that does, it leaves a complete pressure vacuum underneath of this caldera. And what moves into that space? Lava. And this is how volcanism works. So you have an outgassing of gases that were taking up the pressure vacuum, and then in comes the lava. And then so we should look for a time of quiescence. This should cool down for a while, and then it should start swelling. And if it does, hello, remember Mount St. Helens? Boom. So we're going to be keeping a close eye on Io, and that ain't nothing, because boom, volcanoes, they's exploding, and that ain't no joke. Come over to Volcano YT, give them a thumbs up, and tell them Diamond sent you. Let's check out the volcano update for the rest. We have Ibu, a new volcano erupting today, as well as Dukono and Sabancaya. Now, Ibu, I did a little research into, and you should too. It is erupting 4 out of 5. There are webcams. This could be a violent volcanic eruption. As predicted, there will be multiple violent volcanic eruptions moving forward. Now let's talk about Delingpole climate alarmist Maul, the inconvenient polar bear expert. This poor climate scientist, Susan Crockford, we've talked about her. She's awesome. She's a polar bear expert with a message to climate alarmists that they don't want to hear. Polar bear populations are thriving and are certainly in no danger from thinning summer sea ice, supposedly caused by man-made global warming. And they've attacked her. Now, if you come and read this article, you will be embarrassed. The climate change alarmists, the global warming alarmists, they have nothing to stand on here. They're not using science. It's getting deeper and deeper into fantasy, science fiction, and dogma. And I'll let you do your own homework. Climate change is making deadly air pollution worse in cities. Are you kidding me? So now, global warming is causing pollution. How about the polluters causing pollution? Come down and read this. It's nonsense. Because it's warm in cities, the pollution is causing more harm. Well, how about we stop polluting the earth with toxic chemicals? Heads up, CO2 is not one of them. Check out this paper. If we actually raise CO2 concentrations, according to this paper, to 510 to 670 parts per million, you know what would happen? Take a wild guess. A 40% increase in grain yield at temperatures which do not cause damage to the grain. So if we increase carbon dioxide another 100 to 200 parts per million, instantly we would actually be able to feed the planet into the grand solar minimum we're descending into. These idiots are taxing you for something that would increase grain yield by 40%. I'll leave you links to the paper. Please do your own homework. I did it. Coming out from NOAA, global temperature and precipitation maps. We started with them. Let's check out the nonsense. You'll get links. This is the real data. Look at how cold the planet was for March. Dark blue up here, let's check out, is 5 degrees Celsius below normal. Over 60% of the United States was 1 to 4 degrees Celsius below normal. This is much colder than an ice age. If this entire map was blue, we would be in an ice age. We live in an ice age, but what I mean is we would descend into a glacial realm. And that means the Canadian Shield would quickly cover with ice, which will happen shortly. All of Siberia will quickly cover with ice, which it will be shortly in these blue areas. And this is the facts. Now, this is also the facts. This is the land and ocean temperature departure for March. Look at the temperature departure in Siberia. It mimics the Maunder minimum temperature reconstructions. Look at the temperature departures in the U.S. They mimic the Maunder minimum reconstructions to a T, even with the curvature. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Let's look at the warm areas here in the Greenland area. Same on the Maunder minimum. Let's look at the warm areas in Alaska. Same in the Maunder minimum. It's cold here where it snowed this year. Same in the Maunder minimum. Now this is the this is the map they're going to share with the public that you're going to see tomorrow and all week. This is the land ocean temperature percentiles, which means the land and ocean temperature nonsense that we made up because we made up a new thing that makes it all red. 5 degrees below C. Let's talk about Earth-sheltered solar greenhouse book. Ice Age Farmer shared this in a video today. It's out for free if you do not share it around. So take this PDF and print it out, guys. This is stuff we need. Now, Mike Oler, author of the $50 and Up Underground House book, also is the author of this book, the Earth-Sheltered Solar Greenhouse book. It looks suspiciously just like our solar greenhouse, guys. And this is the type of knowledge that you need to be familiar with to survive and thrive in the future. Look at the duck right there. Heads up. They know what they're doing. This is biodynamic farming. This is geothermal use of energy. This is concealment for the times ahead. This is every piece of the puzzle you need. And I'm going to give you links to the book for free. All of the book. It's all yours. Heads up. Print it out. Hand it out. This is the type of knowledge we need to be sharing to survive and thrive in the future. And that's a heads up. Also, this quote from Thomas Jefferson. Hemp is of first necessity to the wealth and protection of the country. And I believe that wholeheartedly. So learn to grow hemp, please. Mainstream media lies. You are all brainwashed slaves. That is absolutely the truth. Now let's, real quick, I showed you that data tonight and I quick made this overlay for you. This is the land and ocean temperature departure from average for March 2018. And if you do not see us descending into the Maunder minimum temperature anomaly, you're not looking. Because these dark blue spots in Siberia are 5 degrees C below normal. And back in the Maunder minimum, they were only 0.7 degrees below normal. And this area here, this region in the U.S. that was 3 degrees C below normal, was only 0.7 degrees below normal during the Maunder minimum. And the Maunder minimum led to crop loss, famine, and unrest. And we're going into crop loss, famine, and unrest, and the end of an empire. I'm not just making this up. I'm using historical documentation to prove to you where you are. The same time the Vikings fell, the same time the Romans fell, and the same time the Minoans fell. So are the idiots. And guys, in a bigger scale, we're also here on the cosmic clock on this line. 26,000 years before now was the onset of the late Wisconsinian Ice Age, which is one of the largest glacial maximums in recent history. And we're on the same cusp, and we're descending not only into the grand solar minimum, but the end of the interstadial and the next onset of the new Ice Age. Name it what you will. It is in the future of your children. The time is now to start preparing and educating yourself of the times to come. Soon we won't be able to access this information. Download it, store it. If you cannot compile it, ask a friend to tell you how to do it. You're going to need community to get through this. You're not going to do it alone. The winds are picking up here. Winter storm warnings have been issued. Be safe, everyone.